Exactly 2 months from now, in September 2026, the American government will close a file that has been open for 64 years. The case of 3 men who escaped the toughest prison in history. A prison surrounded by freezing water and currents that would pull down the world's strongest swimmer. The FBI says they drowned. But a letter reached the police in 2013. Written in it, "My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz in 1962, and I am still alive." Alcatraz is a small rocky island in the middle of the American San Francisco Bay. They called it the Rock. This was no ordinary prison. They sent the most dangerous criminals there who tried to escape from other prisons. Why can no one escape from it? Simply put, even if you get out of your cell, bypass the guards, and reach the shore, you still have 2,500 meters of swimming in 10-degree water, with currents that pull you out to the ocean instead of leading you to the city. Between 1934 and 1962, 36 prisoners tried to escape. All of them were either caught, killed, or drowned. The prison recorded 0 successful escapes until a man named Frank Morris arrived. Frank was no ordinary criminal, an orphan since the age of 10. His first theft was at 13, and he spent his whole life in prisons. But one detail changed everything. The police gave Frank an IQ test, and he ranked among the top 2% in the world. He escaped from a Louisiana prison, so they put him in Alcatraz in 1960. And here, fate played its part. In the same block, there were 2 brothers from Florida, John and Clarence Anglin. Frank knew them from a previous prison. The brothers came from a poor family of 13 children, and since they were young, they were expert swimmers in cold water. And there, the team was complete. Professional swimmers with genius-level intelligence, along with their 4th member, Alan West. Remember this name well, because his fate will be heartbreaking by the end of the episode. Frank noticed something no one else had. The old walls around the ventilation shafts in the cells had been eaten away by moisture, and the cement had become soft. The tools were metal spoons stolen from the cafeteria, a razor blade, and a hand drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor. Every night from 5:30 until the lights went out, they would dig around the air vent. As for the noise, Frank would wait for the prison music hour to dig, so the loud sounds would cover it. But here's the question that surely crossed your mind. The guards would pass by and count the prisoners every night. How did they not notice? And that is where the genius of the story comes in. The guys made fake heads, mixing toilet paper with toothpaste, soap, and cement dust, shaping them like human heads. They painted them with colors from the art workshop and got real hair from the prison barber shop, gluing it on. At night, they'd place the head on the pillow and stuff the quilt to look like a sleeping body. The guard would pass by, see a sleeping prisoner, and move on. Above the cells, they discovered an abandoned utility corridor, which became their secret workshop. Over the months, they stitched together something no one could have imagined. An inflatable raft made from 50 raincoats they stole from the prison. They sealed the layers using steam from heater pipes, fashioned oars from stolen wood, and built an air pump from an accordion. 6 months of preparation, and everything was ready. June 11th, 1962, 0 hour. At 9:30 in the evening, the lights went out. Morris and the Anglin brothers placed the heads on the pillows. They opened the vents and crawled into the corridor. But Alan West, the 4th prisoner, his vent was still too narrow. He had used cement to secure the wall around it, and the cement dried and trapped him inside. He dug and dug and dug frantically, and when he finally opened it and reached the roof, his friends were gone, and he couldn't catch them. Imagine the feeling. 6 months preparing with them, and on the last night, you stay trapped. The other 3 slid down a 15-meter pipe, crossed the roof, climbed down the wall, and reached the North Shore. They inflated the raft and put it in the water. They were last seen at approximately 10 o'clock at night, June 11th, 1962, rowing into the darkness of San Francisco Bay. And from that day to this, No one has seen them. The guard did his morning rounds, or a prisoner didn't wake up. He reached out, and the head rolled onto the floor. And then all hell broke loose. The biggest manhunt in American history. Helicopters, boats, and the army. All they found were floating oars, a bag with photos and addresses of the Anglin family, and pieces of raincoats, but they never found any bodies. And in 1979, the FBI closed the case. They said the water was too cold, the currents too strong, and it was impossible to survive. But the Anglin family received Christmas cards for many years, in handwriting that looked like John and Clarence's. Their brother confessed before he died that he had been in contact with them from 1963 to 1987. And now, the information I promised you. In the year 2013, a letter reached the San Francisco police. My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz in June 1962 with my brother Clarence and Frank Morris. I am 83 years old. My health is in critical condition, and I have cancer. Frank died in 2008. Clarence died in 2011. If you announce on television that I will get only 1 year in prison with medical care, I will write you my exact location. The FBI analyzed the handwriting and fingerprints, and the result was inconclusive. They could neither prove it was forged nor that it was real, and the police at the time did not announce the offer. The letter remained secret for 5 years until it was leaked in 2018. So there is a chance John died waiting for an answer that never came. To this day, the United States Marshals consider them wanted. And in September 2026, weeks from now, the case will officially close, and they will legally be over 99 years old. 64 years, no bodies, no arrests, and no answers. So let me ask you in the end, do you think 3 men who beat the world's toughest prison with a spoon and raincoats would be beaten by a little water? I hope you write your opinions in the comments.